A reading from Luke chapter 8, verses 26 to 39. Jesus and the disciples arrived at the country of the Gerasenes, which is opposite Galilee. As he stepped out on land, a man of the city who had demons met him. For a long time he had worn no clothes, and he did not live in a house, but in the tombs. When he saw Jesus, he fell down before him and shouted at the top of his voice, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me." For Jesus had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man. For many times it had seized him. He was kept under guard and bound with chains and shackles, but he would break the bonds and be driven by the demon into the wilds. Jesus then asked him, "What is your name?" He said, "Legion," for many demons had entered him. They begged him not to order them to go back into the abyss. Now there on the hillside a large herd of swine was feeding, and the demons begged Jesus to let them enter these. So he gave them permission. Then the demons came out of the man and entered the swine, and the herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and was drowned. When the swineherds saw what had happened, they ran off and told it in the city and in the country. Then people came out to see what had happened. And when they came to Jesus, they found the man from whom the demons had gone sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. Those who had seen it told them how the one who had been possessed by demons had been healed. Then all the people of the surrounding country of the Gerasenes asked Jesus to leave them, for they were seized with great fear. So he got into the boat and returned. The man from whom the demons had gone begged that he might be with him. But Jesus sent him away, saying, "Return to your home and declare how much God has done for you." So he went away, proclaiming throughout the city how much Jesus had done for him.
There are two things which will help us understand today's Gospel reading more clearly. The second of these is that it takes place amongst the Gentiles. Hence, there can be pigs and tombs, both of which were unclean for our Jewish brothers and sisters. In fact, they used to paint tombs white so that they were clearly visible, so you didn't accidentally brush up against one and find yourself to be unclean. And although it may seem strange to our modern way of thinking, the original hearers of this story wouldn't really have cared about the fate of the pigs or the loss of profit for the people who owned them. The first bit of information which will help us understand the passage more clearly, though, is to remember what happened just before it. What happens just before this passage is that Jesus calmed a storm. And so Luke is trying to show that Jesus has power and authority over natural events and supernatural ones. Now the man that Jesus met among the tombs was clearly distressed and needed healing. And we can talk another day about whether he was really possessed by demons, or whether he had mental health issues, or there was something else wrong with him. But today, I'm more interested in us. What is it in us which needs healing? What do we need to bring to Jesus in order to be set free? as human beings, we're subject to a variety of psychological processes which may lead us to go astray from time to time. Believe it or not, the 7 deadly sins might be helpful to look at. I'm wondering if there's anything in us which might be suffering from things such as pride, greed, lust, and envy. Or what about the other 3? Gluttony, anger, or sloth? These can creep into our lives and behaviours without us noticing, and they surely need healing. Now, just like the issues which were afflicting the man in the Gospel passage, we have a choice. We can beg Jesus to leave us alone, or we can welcome the healing that Jesus brings. It might be uncomfortable for us to change. It's far easier to stay as we are and tell ourselves we're fine. But we all know that the healing which God offers is a gift, and it truly is part of our salvation. So this week, perhaps we might like to think of the things in us which need healing and ask God for the courage to change what we need to change. In this way, we will be brought more fully into the kingdom of God.